Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. Beautiful Venezuela. We say hi to everybody watching us in Venezuela and also our family and friends watching us in Colombia and Uruguay and Brazil. And this is a happy Thursday. A congratulations. We got visas getting approved now, finally, at the U.S. Embassy in Ghana. And also a success story. We have a K1 visa approved in Cameroon. When these countries are in Ghana and Cameroon's in Central Africa. So congratulations to Renes and congratulations to those folks, Vanessa. They got there finally. After waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, they finally got their visas approved. And today is May 2nd, 2024, and it is almost 6 p.m. Central Time. And it's 77 degrees outside, pretty warm, pretty humid for Florida. It's normal. And Rossley and Melissa is in the house. Diego and Karina, hello. What's going on, guys? How's everybody? And then Renes is checking in. Thanks again, Diego, for all. You're welcome. So Renes, you got your visa approved and you were stressing this for a long time, right? Oh, a very long time. You're stressing and stressing. And now it's all the stress is over with. Now all you got to do is wait on the K1 visa to get put in the passport of your new husband to be and get him to the United States. It took a long time. This is not an easy process. It's not a fast process. It's a slow process. And that's why they put it in place. Immigration created it for a reason. They make it slow for a reason. They want to make sure that the people who are getting these benefits are in real relationships with each other. That's the whole purpose of this immigration process. And Renes says, yes, finally, K1 was a real roller coaster ride. Absolutely. You know, I was in Colombia with Karina thinking we was flying home in November of 2023, and we didn't leave till January 3rd, 2024. I mean, stuff happens, right? And Renes, I'm going to have the biggest drink. You're going to have the biggest drink of Mountain Dew of your life. You're going to celebrate, right, with a Mountain Dew. And this one's not a Diet Mountain Dew. This is a regular Mountain Dew, but I'm just going to finish it up. And then, so you know, I'm not going to just waste it and dump it down the drain. But Renes, you made it. You got through it. And the funny thing is, they didn't even look at my wedding plans. Oh, they do. They know what's going on. Immigration check. Everything. Okay? At the embassy, you may not know. You may not see. They didn't have time. Okay, but they know everything that's going on in your relationship. That's why you got it approved, because they know it's for good. It's a real thing. The embassy in Accra is tough. The consul officer there is tough. So you did good. I'm glad you made it through. And there was another man by the name Jay Hughes. Okay. Well, hopefully, I'm glad they didn't confuse the names, right? You don't want to confuse the names. That could, if there's an issue, if you confuse names, that could be a problem also at the embassy. And he had his interview today in Ghana. Okay. Well, maybe that name is a common name, you know, in Ghana, like there's common names in the United States. I hope he got his visa too. Yeah, we hope so too. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he got his visa too. But this is just a little surprise video. I promised you guys yesterday I would jump on here, live stream, and answer the rest of your questions from yesterday that you guys hadn't quite caught up with me and you wanted more information. And they're very thorough. Yeah. Well, every embassy is very thorough. Okay. They asked Karina 11 or 12 questions. You know, at the embassy interview in Bogota, Colombia, they drilled her for the 12 questions, 11, 12 questions. She's like, bam, 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 bam. She knows the answers. She knows the answers to all the questions. Why? Because she knows everything about me. I know everything about her. I mean, that's why, you know, that's why we've been together over 3 years. And finally we got married on the beach here in Navarre. And we're right now, we're just waiting for Karina's green card to get adjudicated. It went to Chicago because we live in the Panhandle, Florida. Goes to Chicago. Now we're just waiting on immigration to check it out. The paperwork, that is. And I've got no worries about it. We're just chilling out. And Karina's already been to Alabama. She's been to Mississippi. She's been to Louisiana. And of course, she's been to Florida. So she's been to 4 states already out of 50. So she's got 46 more to go. So that's where we're at. Rossley, I got an RFE for the I-864 yesterday. I corrected my errors following your video today. There you go. I'm ready to send it, but I have a question for you. Can I add some evidences that I felt missed before? You only put in the green card application, in the RFE, you only send them what they ask for. Don't add anything. Don't add anything else. Okay? It slows down the processing time, and they didn't ask for it. Don't do it. If they ask you for one thing, send them whatever it is they asked for. What did you do? Where did you mess up on the I-864? Most people, the mistakes that most people make on the I-864 is they mess up the family size. They can't calculate it. They can't figure out the family size. So I made the video about how to do it. Your household. Well, that's what I said, right? 99% of the mistakes on the I-864 are folks cannot figure out the family size because they get confused. They get confused. And it's a very common error, okay? Like on the I-864, and I got it right here on the I-864, on the family size. Let me see what page it's on. It's on page 4 of 10, right here. Immigration has already put a 1 in the bottom. Well, that's not the correct family size. 1 is an error, and it's an automatic generated. So what do you do? How do you fix the family size? Well, you get this whiteout thing right here, okay? And you go right here, and you white out the 1, and you put the correct family size in there. If you're a family size of 2, then 2 goes in here. If you're a family size of 3, then 3 goes in here. But the problem comes, the problem arises when people try to figure it out, and it's very confusing. So I try to unconfuse it for you. So Ross Lee, did we unconfused you, right? The video helped you figure it out. Let me see here. Cozy Moth. Hello, Diego and Karina. My fiance is coming to visit me in the United States from the United Kingdom, which is England, on May 16th for over a month. Wow, how about that? Do you think this will be an issue since we're waiting for our I-129F to be approved? No, it's not an issue. It's only going to be an issue if you guys get married. You can't get married on a tourist visa. Don't do that. That's the issue. The big issue is if you get married on a tourist visa. She can come over and visit with you, spend 30 days plus, get pictures with family and friends, document everything, get lots and lots of pictures with family and friends when she comes for vacation. Keep the boarding passes. Now remember, when you go to the visa interview in London, England, and also when you apply for the green card, when you guys finally make it and get married in the United States, she's going to have to print 2 I-94s. She's going to have to print the I-94 for her vacation. She's going to have to bring that to the embassy interview in London. When she fills out the DS-160, when you get to the visa interview, you schedule the visa interview in London. The DS-160 is going to ask you, they're going to ask you some questions about has your beneficiary been to America before? You're going to say, yes, she has, for vacation. Okay, I want to see the I-94. Print the I-94. Ross Lee, look at that super chat. Ross Lee and Melissa gets a Mountain Dew salute. There you go. So the video helped you get unconfused, right, on the I-864. We're glad to hear that. But it's a common mistake. It is so confusing. That page 4 of the I-864 is so confusing. So I made a video so that you can understand it a little easier and basically so you can get the process moving again. Like I said, you can use the whiteout and just because that form generates a number 1 for family size, but your family size is going to be 2 or greater. So how do you calculate the family size? And then on page 4, on page 4, it's going to be a number 1 right here is going to be for yourself. All right. Then under here, this is all going to be 0. And then out here is going to be a 1 for your beneficiary, right? For 2. So it's going to be, let me get it here for you. This will be the person in part 3. That's going to be either the K1 and the K2. So it's either going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Then this is going to be a 1. All this is going to be 0. And then you calculate this box and this box. And that's the total family size right here. That's how you do it. But immigration confuses everybody with the question. They say here, if you are currently married, enter a 1 for your spouse. But that goes here. Your spouse goes here. Then they ask you the question, if you are currently married, enter a 1 for your spouse. So then most people, they mess it up. They put another 1 here. And that messes up the family size. All right. But if you do like Ross Lee did, watch the video I made on the I-864, you won't get confused. You won't mess it up when it comes to the green card. So, Cozy Moth, that's great news that your fiance is going to come visit with you in the United Kingdom. Number 1, don't get married. Number 2, get lots of pictures with family and friends. Go out to eat in different restaurants. Go eat lots of fish and chips. Keep all the receipts of all your dinner dates and lunch dates. If you go eat lunch somewhere, keep the receipt. If you go eat dinner at a restaurant somewhere in London, wherever it is you're going to be in the United States, wherever you go to eat, or whatever you do, keep the receipts and the pictures, because that evidence is going to be included in your K1 visa application, or if you've already filed for it, it's going to be included in the green card application. Let me see. So is it going to be an issue while waiting for your I-129F? No, it's not. But you got to make sure you print the I-94 of her vacation, okay, for the visa interview at the embassy in London. Renes, make sure you label each evidence so well that they only don't need to ask your fiance extra questions. Very good advice from Renes in Texas. And she says, write letters to clarify certain documents. More good stuff. Rosely, Karina, you have a treasure next to you right there. Yo aquí siempre. I'm always here for Karina. I protect her. I got a treasure right here, right next to me. Karina's my rock right here. But okay, Rosely, you get another Mountain Dew salute, man. I got to give you another one. You and Melissa, okay? And I'm glad you fixed the I-864. Now you're just waiting on your green card. Nong Ving Envy Homes. Nong Ving. Hi, Diego. I've submitted my wife's adjustment of status green card to USCIS Chicago. We did too. We sent it to Chicago. My FedEx tracking showed delivered on Monday. Good. But haven't heard anything back. My wife's K1 visa expires May 9th. Will it be okay? Perfectly fine. The K1 visa expired when she landed at the airport in the United States of America. The K1 visa goes away when she landed at the airport, okay? What she's on now is an I-94, a Border Patrol I-94. It's good for 90 days. You have to get married within 90 days. That's all that means. So if it expired, Karina's 90 days has expired. We're waiting on her green card. Her I-94 expired on April 8th. What's today? May 2nd. Karina's I-94 has been expired a month almost. That's not, but she's not out of status because she's waiting for her green card. She already went and did her biometrics. We drove to New Orleans. We spent the night in New Orleans. We had a fantastic dinner and breakfast. We walked around New Orleans. We went down Bourbon Street. We checked it all out. Got the biometrics done, and now we're waiting on her green card. But her K1 visa terminated when she landed at Miami Airport, and the I-94 terminated on April 8th of 2024. It's now May 2nd, 2024. Is she out of status? No, she's just waiting on her green card, just like you. Nong Vang Envy Homes, just like you. She's waiting just like you. So your question is, will it be okay? Perfectly okay. Nothing's expired. That 90-day window of time is the time you have to get married. It's not the K-1 visa timeline. It's the I-94 timeline. The Border Patrol said, you got 90 days to get married. If you don't, you're going to be deported. You got married within 90 days, right? You must have, because you're waiting on the green card. So relax, Nong Vang, Envy Homes, put your feet up on the desk, get you a Mountain Dew, and relax and chill, okay? And sell some houses. There you go. That's a good smiley face right there. Cozy Moth, thank you. No problem. And Cozy Moth, make sure when it's okay to come on vacation in America on a K-1 in process, but you got to print the I-94 for the green card, and also for the visa interview in London. Ross Lee, my elderly father lives with me. Okay, should I include him? He's not my dependent. No, he doesn't get included. The only person that gets included as the family size is you and anybody that you have. That if you have sponsored somebody in the past on a green card and they still live in America on a green card, which doesn't apply to you, so that doesn't count. If they're on your tax return, you just said he's not on your tax return, right? He's not your dependent, so he's not counted. Anybody can live with you, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, cousins, second cousins. But if you don't claim them as dependents on your taxes, you don't have to put them on the I-1 on the 864. The only people you put on the 864 are people that are legally your dependent, okay? Which is the K-1. So if all you did was bring your wife over or your beneficiary and got married, your household size is 2. If she had a child on a K2, then the household size is 3. But your dad isn't going to be included on there. Let me see. Ren S. Question: with my 2023 tax, my income was $33,000 household of 3. So you got $33,000. You are just the minimum income for a green card, Ren S, is $32,275. You got to make a minimum of $32,275. You make $33,000, but so you're about what, $800 over the minimum. So immigration is going to want to see a joint sponsor. Ren S, I got a feeling they're going to want to see a joint sponsor, because you made it through the visa interview because the income is good. I mean, it's 100% plus. But now you're applying for the green card, you got to be at 125% plus. You're $700 over the minimum. So my advice is find a joint sponsor for your green card application. The joint sponsor only has to fill out the I-864 and sign it and date it. The joint sponsor needs to provide the last tax return, tax transcripts, 1040, the bank statements, and pay stubs, 6 months worth of pay stubs. I strongly recommend that you get a joint sponsor. Ahmed, tips to prepare for the interview. Just relax. Have a big, get up early, put business casual clothes on, and relax and answer the questions. If you don't know the answers to the questions, say, I don't know. If immigration officer asks you a question, say, I don't know. If you don't know the answer, say, I don't know. But if you do your homework, you should know everything about your sponsor and everything, and the sponsor should know everything about the beneficiary. Ahmed, did that help you? Just relax, answer the questions professionally. Don't get upset if the immigration officer gets strict. They're going to be strict. Some immigration officers are strict, some are laid back. Nadi Olisa, is the adjustment of status thumbprint only done in New Orleans? No, the biometrics are done wherever immigration tells you to go. Immigration told Karina, you got to go to New Orleans for your biometrics. Then now there's a young lady that lives in Alabama. Immigration told her she had to go to Atlanta, Georgia for her biometrics. And if you live in California, if you live in Los Angeles, you go to Los Angeles for your biometrics. But we live in the Panhandle of Florida, and the closest immigration office for biometrics is in New Orleans. So we had to make a road trip to New Orleans. but not everybody has to go to New Orleans. Just wherever when you get this letter, okay, this right here is a letter you're going to get right here, okay? Once you get that letter, it's going to tell you where to go for your biometrics, what day, what time, okay? Rennes, but in 2023, I didn't work because I went to Ghana, so I missed 3 weeks of work. So my actual income is about $36,400, not 33. You got to prove it in the green card application. If you make $36,400, you got to prove it in the green card application. When you fill out the affidavit of support, they ask you on the affidavit of support, they ask you this question right here. I know, what is your current individual annual income? Well, your current individual income is $36,400, but it was $33,000 in the past on your last tax return. Can you prove that you make $36,400? Can you prove it? If you can prove it with pay stubs and a letter from your boss, etc., and bank statements, then you should be fine. But don't be surprised if they ask you for a joint sponsor if you can't prove it, okay? Ross Lee, no child, no dependent, so your family size is 2, you and your wife. So family size is going to be 2. So it's going to be a 1 in this block, then you are here, and then add 1, and 1 is 2, and then 2 is at the bottom of the I-864. Do I need to add bank statements? If you want, if it proves income, you can. But what did they ask you in the RFE? You messed up the household size, right? That's all you got to fix. Nong Vang MV Homes. Great stuff, Diego. Also wanted to share, I helped my colleague with his K1 visa. His fiance is also from Laos. His case was approved in 5 months. Well, that's going to get a Mountain Dew salute right there. Nong Vang MV Homes. I hope you're selling lots of houses. You get a Mountain Dew salute because you helped somebody else. You help somebody else. It's good. It's you know, the problem with the world today is everybody's all about me, mm-hmm. Right? And that's not good. We got to help other people. We forget, you know, that we're here to help other people. It's not all about us. It's not all about me. It's about helping you and helping everybody and helping each other. Hand ups, no handouts. I don't believe in handouts. A handouts doesn't teach anybody anything, but a hand up does. So Rennes, my actual income yearly is $36,400. So when you fill out the I-864, you're going to put on page 4, block 7, my current individual income is $36,400. All you got to do is prove it. And I'm sure you can prove it. Let me see. If I don't take a vacation, as I did in 2023, which made my income come down to $33,000, right? But you're not going to do that. You're not doing that now. Ahmed, thanks, Diego and Karina. Your advice was helpful. That's good. Yeah, when you go to the visa interview, okay, don't stress it. Karina got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. She jumped on the bus. She went to the embassy in Bogota, Colombia. She was in her business attire, and boom, she answered the questions at 7 o'clock in the morning. She got her visa approved. The only thing she needed was an Interpol police certificate, which added another month and a half to my stay in Colombia. Now, I don't mind Colombia. I love it in Colombia, but the mountains were killing me. I was so sick from the mountain sickness. Let me see. Rennes, I can prove with my pay stubs and bank statements. Then you're good. If you can prove it with bank statements and pay stubs, you're good. But I can't get a letter from my job, or can I change the fact my 2023 tax return shows 33 as I took 3 weeks from work, which lowered your income? Write a letter in your green card application. Write an affidavit in your green card application that you took a vacation to Ghana and that reduced your income. And then on page 10 of the I-864, on page 10, of the I-864. You see that right there? Look at all that space. Look at all this space. In that space, you can explain what happened. I went to Ghana for a vacation. It lowered my income significantly. Thus, this is why my 2023 tax return shows this, because of my vacation. But I actually make this, which you can prove with bank statements and pay stubs, right? That's all you got to do. Write a letter of explanation. Put it in the remarks block in here, what happened, and provide the evidence to immigration. And it's done. You can't get a letter from your job, don't worry about it. You can prove it. You can prove it with pay stubs and with bank statements, right? Plus, write a letter, an affidavit, a letter of affidavit, and include it and put it in the back of the I-864 why you missed, why your income was reduced significantly. That's because you were with your sweetheart. And now he's passed his visa interview. He's coming to America. Now you just got to prove your income is sufficient to take care of him. Okay? Which it is. So you got to make, for a family, you got to make $32,275. You make $36,400. So you're way over. So you're good. But you got to prove it. We know it lowered your income, Renes. I was in Colombia for 11 months. You should have seen what happened to my income. It went pew. Okay? But immigration didn't hold it against me because I wrote a letter of explanation, and I put on right here on page 10 of the I-864, I wrote right in here, I was in Colombia for 11 months and my boss told me I could be there, so my income went down. Here's my real estate license. Here's the letter from my broker giving me permission to be in Colombia, and the explanation was accepted by immigration, and boom, Karina's here, right? We're just waiting on our green card. So did that help you? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? What my explanation is? Evidence is what immigration needs to see. If income changes, life happens. Your income goes up, it goes down. That's what happens sometimes. But in an immigration process, immigration just want to see evidence of what happened and write a nice letter of explanation. Dear USCIS officer, thank you for taking the time to adjudicate my husband's green card application. The reason my income went down in whenever is because of whatever. Okay? This is the explanation that you give. My normal income is this, and I can prove it with my bank statements and my pay stubs. Thank you for your consideration, and thank you for taking the time to check out this green card application. Sign it, Renes. Immigration appreciate the fact you've given them evidence of your income for 2024. They're not going to hold it against you for taking a vacation. You've made an explanation, and then boom, you get your green card approved. That's how you do it. But lots of people are like, well, I'm not telling the government while I was on vacation. I'm not telling the government how much money I make. It's none of their business. Well, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You got people with an attitude that feel like that they are exempt from telling immigration their personal stuff. Well, that's all well and good, but you ain't going to get a green card. Immigration want to know everything about you, right? And you tell them. And if there's anything extra you want to explain about your situation, you write it in an affidavit and you sign it and date it. That's how it works. Francois Livingston from upstate New York. Francois, good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois, you're in the queue. You're like circling. You're circling right here. It's like the vultures are circling. You're just waiting on your NOA2 letter from immigration. Ren S. Even for my K1 interview, my job wouldn't give me a letter of employment. Don't worry about it. It's passed. So I printed out my employment history. Do that for the green card application. And the offer email as proof of employment. Plus, I also took my job's open enrollment insurance. It's all good. That's what you got to do. Immigration want to see that. They want to see the evidence of your income. Your insurance says proof of employment. Right. You did good. Renes, you got his visa approved. You did a great job. Francois Livingston, sorry I'm late. I was outside mowing and I lost track of time. You're outside mowing. You're allowed. You have grass in New York. I thought everything was concrete. So you're out. You have grass in New York. Well, that's good. But you got to be careful, because if the government finds out, if the governor of New York finds out you got grass growing in your yard, Francois, they're going to tax every single blade of it. They're going to figure out how to tax every blade of grass. I'm surprised. How did you mow your yard? Are you allowed to use a gasoline-powered lawnmower in New York, or have they banned them like they have in California? You can't use a gas-powered lawnmower in California. They banned them. You can't use a gasoline-powered leaf blower. You can't use a gasoline-powered hedge trimmer. You got to use a battery pack. You know, I have yet to find a lawnmower with a battery on it that is sufficient to cut yard, especially here. So anyway, I'm messing with you, Francois. I'm just messing with you. So good. I'm glad you're back out from outside in the hot air of New York, cutting grass. You're chilling out with us on the channel. Rennes. Oh no, hold on a second. Francois, I don't want to circle around and get you be dizzy. That's all good, Francois. Come on, hang out in the channel with us. Rennes, I wrote letters of explanation on everything. I was so scared. I even wrote a letter to explain why my income dropped in 2023 from my K1. There you go. You explained it. Immigration said, okay, stuff happens. Boom, you got your visa approved. Right? So don't be scared anymore, Rennes. You got it covered. And plus, I'm helping you, right? You're learning stuff on the channel. That's what I mean. If you don't learn anything from the channel, that's, then I'm spinning my wheels. But my job here is to help you guys get educated, so you don't have to pay an immigration attorney thousands and thousands of crazy dollars. Okay, you don't need to do that. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for the State Department, and I give you zero legal advice. I got to say that. Okay, I got to say that to you guys, because I'm not an immigration attorney, but I got 9 years experience doing this. I can write a book on it. Maybe I should. Rennes, I totally understand, Diego. Rennes, you good. You're on the downslope now. You're just you're in cruise control. You're on the autopista. You're on Interstate 10 cruising, just waiting for get your future husband to the United States, to Texas, the great state of Texas, the second biggest state in the Union. Alaska's the biggest. Texas is second. And Karina's already been to 4 states. 4 states already. She only been here, a short time. And Francois, we have grass in New York. Concrete is in Florida. Miami's concrete. Here where I live, it's all trees. I mean, I could show you. I don't want to disrupt the video camera, but we live in trees. We live in kind of rural. So, but you're right, though. Florida is concrete. But so is New York City. Now, I'm going to take Karina to New York City for a vacation. But we got to wait for all the illegal immigrants to leave first, because all the hotel rooms are taken up with illegal immigrants or migrants or whatever you call them. Just my opinion. So it's impossible to get a hotel room, right? So we're just hanging out in Florida. But she wants to see the Empire State Building and the Statue of Liberty, take the Liberty boat cruise around the Hudson River. We're going to eat at Patsy's Italian restaurant. She wants to do all this. But we're waiting, because right now, going to New York is kind of like, where do we stay? There's nowhere to stay. Rennes will do for sure. Ahmed, you are very funny, Diego. Karina is lucky. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have Karina. She kept me in line. Rennes, no more frequent trips to Ghana once my fiance is here. No. Once he gets to Texas, you guys get married, you build a life together in Texas. Okay, he shouldn't be sitting in the armchair, watching TV, trying to figure out his next trip back to Ghana. You should be planning your next trip to do something in Texas. Go to Houston. Go to the Space Museum. Go do stuff in Texas, or go on vacation somewhere in the United States of America. Once you get to America, build your life in America, right? Well, so many people, they get to the United States, they get married, and they're already planning their trip back to their home country. Seriously. Come on, guys. The distance will end forever, And yes, my annual income is 35,900. But that's what you got to prove it, and you just got to write a letter of explanation on the I-864. Francois Livingston, as far as I'm concerned, they can ship them all back to where they came from. Francois, no goes to illegals. Yeah, yeah. Francois, Karina, everybody on the channel, you guys come here legally. We pay the visa fees. You took the medical exam. You had the police checks done. You did the face-to-face visa interview. You filled out stacks and stacks and stacks of paperwork, right? And you submit it to immigration, and then it gets adjudicated. And then you wait for a year and a half, 2 years, and then you finally get to the United States. And now I can't take Karina on vacation to New York City because the hotels are filled with illegal immigrants. What kind of crap is that? Seriously, Karina doesn't like it. I don't like it. So, but if you are a legitimate asylum seeker, if you're trying to escape from communism in Venezuela or Cuba or Nicaragua or, somewhere like that, communist China even, okay, we can understand that and we want to help you. But if you're just coming in here because you just didn't like living in your home country, you just want to go live in America because the economic opportunities are greater, and now you're going to disrupt an American citizen's life, and you're going to be here like this with your hand out, gimme, 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 gimme. No, go home, get on a plane, go back to wherever it is you came from. But if you're a legitimate asylum seeker, man, I'm here for you. I'm going to help you. I'll help you. Especially if you're from Venezuela or Cuba. People from Venezuela, they got to put up with Maduro, that communist dictator. He's a horrible person. Yesterday was May Day, right? Labor Day, and then Maduro comes out and says, "Well, I'm going to raise everybody's minimum wage to $130. Is that per dia or per order? Per month. Oh, it's per month. So Maduro, the communist dictator of Venezuela, said, I'm raising everybody's minimum income to $130 a month. And you need probably $600 a day to live there because the price of stuff is crazy. Okay? And then he was telling people, you will be at my May Day rally. You're going to be at my May Day rally. If you're not, then you may not have a job tomorrow, especially for government employees. So he made everybody wear the red T-shirts with Maduro's name on it. And these people would much rather be at home with their families and their kids, okay, on a day off. Communism sucks, guys. It's horrible. And if I can help a Venezuelan get out of that country and come here, my goodness, I will do it. But Karina and I, we were hanging. Karina was living in Colombia for 6 years. So, she got asylum in Colombia. So it was irrelevant for me. Anyway, but that's another story. Don't get me started, okay? Let me see. So, Renes, you're good. My household will be 3 in 2024. Make sure you know how to fill out the I-864, Renes. Don't mess up the I-864. Don't mess it up. Ahmed, you and Karina can book a hotel room until she can get a green card? Sure. If I want to take Karina to San Diego for vacation and book and get a hotel and go to the San Diego Zoo, we can do that. She got a passport. She's got a military ID. She doesn't have a driver's license yet because she can't get a driver's license without her green card. Got to have a green card to get a driver's license in Florida. When she gets her green card, I'll make sure she's ready for her test and get her driver's license. But if we want to go somewhere, I wanted to go to New York, but we're not going to go there. There's nowhere the hotels are full up. And I'm just not going to take a chance and go there. But we're going to go somewhere. We're going to go to Las Vegas. That's where I'm taking Karina to Las Vegas probably in August when it's the hottest, so she can experience a hot Nevada desert. But Ahmed, the question is, can you and Karina, can Karina and I book a hotel room until she gets her green card? Yeah, we can. We're married. We can do that. Francois, 2 years waiting and waiting. We are not done yet. Francois, you're almost there. You're at the finish line, Francois. Shiku Dumbayo, Diego, my interview is May 9th in Sierra Leone, Freedom Town. What will be my preparation for me and my daughter interview? Interim questions. Little bit worried. It's been over. I can't read the last part because of the stream needs to move up. Somebody write something so I can finish reading Shiku's question. When you go to your visa interview for your K1 in Sierra Leone, Shiku, wear business casual. They're not going to ask your daughter any questions. She's what? She's 11 years old, right? I think she's 11 years old. She's not going to get asked any questions. They're going to ask you maybe 5 or 6 questions about your American citizen sponsor. What's your address going to be in the United States? Have you memorized your address in the United States of America? They asked Karina, what's your address in the United States? And Karina said, blah, 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 Florida. And she even gave him the zip code. And the immigration officer's like, dang, okay. So make sure you know where you're going to be living in America. Make sure you know everything about your sponsor's background, his life in the past, where he's lived before in the past. Has he ever, what's his job? How much money does he make? Where does he work? What's the name of his family members? Make sure you know everything about your sponsor's family. Does he have brothers and sisters? Does he have family members? What's his mom's name? What's his dad's name? They might ask you, what's your sponsor's dad's name? They asked Karina, they asked you about my mom. They asked Karina, what's my mom's name? And she told them, my mom's in heaven. Okay, my mom passed away in 1994. But they asked her a question about my mom. Okay. And she said, boom, because Karina knows everything about me. The secret to a successful K1 visa interview is to make sure you know everything about your sponsor. Make sure you know everything about the beneficiary. Make sure you know everything about each other. And Francois, hang in there, Francois. You're almost there, Francois. Come on now. You're going to get your NOA2 letter. Then you're going to be happy as a clam, right? You're going to be jumping on the live stream. I got my NOA2 letter, right? Just like Reness got her visa approved. Everything works out. Just got to be patient. So Shiku, wear business casual. Don't worry, your daughter's not going to get any questions. I doubt very much she'll get any questions. Probably not at all. Know everything about your beneficiary and your sponsor. Know about everything. Know about what his job is, where he works, how much money does he make, what's his, what. They're not going to try to trip you up. The consular officer is not trying to trip you up. They're not trying to trick you into failing the K1 visa interview. They're just trying to establish your relationship with your sponsor. That's all they're trying to do. They asked Karina, what's my job? What do I do? Where do I work? They asked her, do I have a brother? Yeah, I do. What's his name? She knows my brother's name. They asked her questions about my family, about where I work. If you know everything about your sponsor, Ms. Beneficiary, Mr. Beneficiary, you're going to get through the K1 visa interview without a problem. It's been over 2 years. Shiku, you're at the finish line, okay? You said May 9th, right? So in 7 days, you got a week to go, and you and your daughter will get your K1 and your K2 visas, and you're going to go fly to America, right? Is your sponsor going to meet you in Sierra Leone and fly back to the United States with you, or are you flying by yourself? Oro Bandu, I like that. Oro Bandu. Diego, my wife went for K1 interview, and they gave her a 221G letter request, police certificate, and to submit her passport with the records. That happens sometimes. Oro Bandu. Listen up, guys. When you go to your K1 visa interview, your beneficiary has to bring with him or her police certificates from every country he or she lived or worked in for 6 months or greater. Karina went to her K1 visa interview in Bogota, Colombia. She had her police certificate from Venezuela. She had her police certificate from Colombia. But she got a 221G because immigration wanted her Interpol police certificate. And that came out of left field. I'm like, what the heck did that come from? What the heck? It took 4 weeks to get it. So I was in Colombia another 4 weeks. It cost me more rent. I had to pay the rent, the internet, the gas, the water for another month in Bogota. But it's all good. I didn't care because Karina got her K1 visa. Francois, look at that. Super chat from Francois Livingston. And then she put a little picture of a cup in there. Now that's going to be full of Mountain Dew, right? That's going to be filled with mountains. It is. Thank you, Francois. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Francois. We're going to get you. You got to get your NOA2 letter, Francois. Ren S had an RFE, just like you. She got through the RFE. She got the K1 visa interview scheduled. And now her future husband will be in America very soon. Just like you, Francois. You did everything that you were supposed to do, right? You submitted it. You sent it. And now you're waiting on your NOA2 letter. It sucks to wait. Waiting and waiting and waiting. It's horrible. It's not good. But I'm telling you, you're going to get it. You'll be fine. I'm giving you this, the Diego sign right here. So Oro Bandu. Karina had a 221G for a police certificate, but it was an Interpol police certificate, which we had no clue we had to provide that. But because she lived in Colombia for almost 6 years, that's why we had to get it. If she lived in Venezuela and flew to Bogota for the visa interview, then she wouldn't have needed the Interpol police certificate. The Colombia, the Venezuelan police certificate would have been just perfectly fine. So Oro Bandu, hang in there. Just wait. Just work through the process, okay? Shiku, she wants to meet me in Brussels, Belgium, so we can meet and fly together with my daughter. There you go. Brussels, Belgium. So you want to meet in Brussels, Belgium. Now I've been to Belgium. I went to Belgium in let me see here, 1975, 1978. No, but 1978 I went to Belgium. I went to Ghent, Belgium. I think it's called Ghent. It's a beautiful country, but it's a very small country. And that would be a great place, Shiku, to go eat some good Belgian food, get some souvenirs, get a magnet from Belgium for your fridge. Boom. Wherever we go, we like to buy magnets for the fridge. You know, we're going to go to Las Vegas. We're going to get magnets from Las Vegas for the fridge. Oro Bandu, thank you. Yeah, relax. It's just something you got to get through it. Okay. Something you got to get through it. It's a police certificate. Francois, thanks to your support, and Karina, Tokyo and the channel. Now, Tokyo, donde Tokyo? Tokyo, Tokyo's outside. Tokyo made friends, okay? Now, Tokyo is our cat from Colombia. He was in Bogota. He's from Bogota. He's what? He'll be 2 years old in June. 2 años en junio. In 2 years, he'll be 2 years old in June. And now he's outside making friends with the American cats. So let's see what happens. So that's where he is. And we got a little thing around his neck with his name on it that says Tokyo, and it jingles. So then when Karina's out on the porch, when she hears the jingle, she knows the cat's nearby. And Francois, we're glad to help you. And Shiku, soon you're going to get this over with. You're going to get the visa interview over with. You're going to get your daughter here. You did everything I said to, you were a little bit concerned that your daughter wasn't going to be included. Well, we fixed it, right? We fixed it. You did all the work. I showed you the maze to go down, and then boom, now your daughter's coming with you. So that's good news too. Shiku, what about proof of relationship, Diego? I have a lot of pictures together. You need lots of pictures together with him and her, and the families. You got to have group pictures with people, lots of friends, lots of family. That's what immigration's looking for, okay? That's what they're looking for. Family, friends, group pictures. When I submitted Karina's K1 visa package, there was like 40, 50 pictures in there, and most of them were with her family and friends. And then we had about 10 of them with selfies. But immigration, they tossed the selfies away. They couldn't care less about selfies. They want to see pictures with family and friends. That's what they're looking for. And what about proof of the relationship? Well, do you have all your text messages? Do you have what message? Do you use Yahoo Messenger? Do you chat back and forth in WhatsApp? How do you talk? How do you communicate with each other? Print those messages. Okay? Print them up. Bring them to the visa interview. That's what they're looking for. And, you're going to get through this. We're going to have a success story for Shiku here in a week from now. We got Ren S, a success for Ren S. Vanessa, she got her K1 visa approved in Cameroon. She's flying to the United States in June. Okay, I made a video for her and I made a video for Renes. If you want me to make a video for you guys with your success story, let me know. I'll make a video for you. It doesn't cost you anything. All I need to know is the NOA 1 date, the NOA 2, the welcome letter, the visa interview date, etc. Whatever else you want me to put in the video. If you want me to make a video, tell me what country, and I'll make a video for you. That's what it's all about, right? And then in 10 years from now and 20 years from now, you can go back and watch the video and say, hey, look, I remember that process. When Karina gets her green card, unless we have to go to another visa, if we have to go to a green card interview, that's okay, no big deal. But I don't think so. I think they'll just probably mail it to her. But when she gets her green card, I'll make a video on from NOA 1 to the green card, the timeline, everything, okay? But what you got to remember, the NOA 1 letter timeline was the commencement of the process for immigration. We've been dating each other for a year before that. So the process is actually over 3 years old for us, okay? It's over 3 years. See what I'm saying? The process starts at least a year before you apply for the K1 visa. You want to date each other for at least a year with at least a year's worth of evidence of knowing each other to make sure you don't get, any unnecessary RFEs or interrogations. We're heading into 4 years. When Karina gets her green card, we're going to get her ready for her 10-year green card. Start collecting evidence for your 10-year green card right now. Start preparing for the U.S. citizenship. Become a U.S. citizen, beneficiaries, and then you don't have to mess with this immigration paperwork anymore, right? Just get it done. Become a citizen. Yasir Yusfi, Diego, do you think the decision of visa approval is made before the interview? 99%, yeah. 99% of the time, I believe that the immigration officer's already made a decision on your case. But congressional law requires a face-to-face visa interview. Congress made it law, so they got to follow congressional law. And then, but sometimes when somebody goes to a K1 visa interview, if the immigration officer can see that it's a fraud, they ask the beneficiary a question, and the beneficiary can't even answer a simple question like, where are you going to live in America? I don't know. Seriously, you don't know where you're going to live in America? Questions that are common knowledge that the beneficiary should know and cannot answer, then the immigration officer could have already said, well, I'm going to approve this, but then changes his or her mind at the interview. But it's very rare that happens, but it does happen sometimes. But it's very rare. It's like less than 1%. Let me see here. Renes, how long does it take for Accra, Ghana to put the visa in the passport? As the embassy said, 4 to 6 weeks. Isn't that too long? No, for Accra, Ghana, it's about 3 weeks. They told Karina the same thing, see, mucho tiempo, but it's not. It took 2 or 3 days actually for Karina. It was just boom like that. But Accra, Ghana is going to be a little bit slow, but it's not going to be 6 weeks. Yes, sir. Hello, Diego. What if most pictures I submitted were selfies? We mostly go together, but she still will come tomorrow for the next trip, and we make sure we take some pictures, not selfies. Yes, sir. You got to make sure you got lots of pictures with family and friends. Immigration couldn't care less about selfies. They really don't care. They already know you guys are together. What immigration is trying to figure out is, are you really together in a real relationship? If you are in a real relationship, guess what? Families and friends are going to know about it. I couldn't walk down the street in Bogota, Colombia without somebody waving at me. Hey, Diego, ¿cómo estás? Hey, ¿dónde Karina? Where's Karina? Right? I know who her bosses were. Karina was the manager of ice cream stores. I would go to the ice cream store, and her boss, would give me a hug, and her boss's husband took me to eat lunch one day. He said, "Come on, Diego, let's go eat lunch." And I'm like, "Well, Karina's working." He goes, "Ah, she's good. Come on." And he bought me a big Chinese dinner, a Chinese lunch, and this was Karina's boss's husband. Everybody knew who I was in the barrio. All her friends knew who I was. Andrea. Kelly, Wendy, Manuel, Marie, Anna, Marie. All of Karina's friends know me. I got pictures of everybody. Lady. Now, and when I put the K1 visa package together, those pictures were in the visa package, and also at the visa interview, and they also went in the green card application. Okay, Jessica, Mihai. I was with Mihai and Karina and Wendy. We're on the Transmilenio in Bogota, Colombia. We had the farewell lunch. Karina was saying goodbye to her friends, and we went and ate at this fantastic restaurant, and we had fried chicken, and it was great. Her brother runs the restaurant, and Mihai, Karina's friend, was crying on the bus. We're on the Transmilenio going back home to our apartment, and Mihai, her friend, got off the bus at this stop. She was crying like this because Mihai knew she wasn't going to see Karina again for a long time. And Mihai was sad. But this is the process we're in, guys, right? Mihai was crying like on the bus, and it was hard. Oof. Tough for me too, because I knew that Karina wasn't going back to Colombia for years, and I told Karina, tell your friends, don't surprise them. Tell your friends this is a long process. When you become an American, we're going to go travel back home and visit everybody, but not till that time. Okay. Let me see here. So yes, here, make sure you get lots of pictures with family and friends. Okay. Of course, we made lots of pictures with family and friends. I introduced her to two friends of mine, one female, another was male. We took selfies. Bear in mind, I got approved in the NBC. Right, yes, here, you're going through a different kind of deal. You're in a different process. But make sure when you, so you're going to get the green card a different way. But when you apply for a K1 visa, okay, you got to have lots of pictures with family and friends. That's the goal. Immigration want to see interaction. That's what they're looking for. Yes, sir. What if they deny my visa, Diego, based on what I said about my issue? What do you think? They're not going to deny your visa. They're not going to deny it. You're good. Just wait it out. Wait it out, okay? Okay, guys, I tell you what, I'm hungry. I'm getting hungry. Tengo hambre. Tu tienes hambre? Karina's hungry. I'm hungry. I got to eat something. And we're going to have perro caliente. We're having, what is it?
Perro caliente.
In English?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. We're going to have some hot dogs. Plus frijoles. Baked beans. I'm going to have baked beans and 2 hot dogs with ketchup and onions. That's what's going on. We're going to go eat. And let me finish up here. Jay Baxter, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks, Jay Baxter. Yes, sir, I am CR1. I know that. You're in a spousal visa. The NVC took care of it for you. Okay? The NVC is handling everything for you. They're going to schedule the interview. They're going to approve your spousal visa, and then the green card's going to be produced by the embassy. Yes, sir, you're good. Relax, chill out. Today's Thursday. This wasn't a surprise live stream. I promised you guys I would do it yesterday. We'll be back on Saturday at 6 p.m. Tomorrow, Corinne and I are going to go hang out. Okay? I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm not going to get on the computer. I'm not getting on the computer. I'm going to take Corinne somewhere and maybe go eat for all the fantastic super chats. I'll take her to eat a big Hardee's breakfast. And then find something to do. See you guys. See you on Saturday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir says, thanks, Diego. I didn't know you had a live stream today. Well, that was just a surprise. See you tomorrow. See you on Saturday, not tomorrow, Saturday. And Renes, God bless you, Diego. Guys, we're going to see you on Saturday. Relax, okay? Chill out. You got this.